Hello Patreon. I am here to pull some cards for you. I actually did pull them when I was in California, but for some reason the video would not post to Patreon. I'm not sure why. Wasn't meant to be, I suppose, but I am back. I want to pull you some cards for the next week or so before I leave. I'm leaving for Thailand tonight, this evening. So yeah, what day is today? Today is Tuesday. We'll say that these cards are for Wednesday to Wednesday, maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, so for the next 2 weeks starting tomorrow. Okay, Poppy, I'm gonna pull some cards. Okay, thank you. You can lay down here if you want. Okay, so I am going to start with some tarot cards. And how I used to read a lot back in the day, read cards, energy, etc. Is I would pull one for where we're coming from, the energy we're moving from, the energy where we're at, and then where we're moving into. And then I'll pull an oracle card on how to move through that easier, more smoothly, more effectively. Okay, so for where we are coming out of, you could say the past, whatever. Okay. Next 2 weeks, Patreon. Oh. Okay. Where we're at right now. Oh. Where we're at right now. Ooh. And where we are moving into. Awesome. Okay, so where we're coming from, the Knight of Swords, which is mainly more cerebral energy. Knight of Swords is very gung-ho kind of. The knights often represent kind of a more I sometimes think not adolescent, but going through puberty, this kind of energy, and this kind of independence. I can do it myself, but kind of a lot more mentally. Knight of Swords can sometimes, if too much of that energy, can kind of be more anxious. Anxious, kind of just in your head, getting stuff done, but moving into the Page of Wands upside down, which is more of a rest in being and doing and creating. This is a really pretty card. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I'll post a picture of it. I love this deck though. It's very elementally, which I love. So there's sleeping foxes, and she's playing the violin and the tree, but it's upside down, so it's sort of this moving from the head into our bodies, and the pathway into doing that, as we know, is creativity can be very helpful because it helps us bring us into the moment, and really listening and channeling, but sort of just a more restful card. I just am feeling it's more it's more in my body, moving from my head to my body, but it's this shift, flipping upside down, moving into then the Four of Wands, which is, flourishing on that. Oh, I know, Poppy, I'll feed you dinner in a second. 1 second. Flourishing on that kind of creative foundation that we're creating. It's more movement, and kind of then able to leap off from there into, our next phase of life. So it kind of feels like the gears are turning and the tides are shifting, and the chapter is chaptering. We're moving into a new chapter, and so currently in these next couple weeks is a shift out of mental state into more of our body, and maybe you're feeling more of that creative flow, that creative energy coming into you, which could come in so many ways, as ideas of what to do next, ideas of, or just thoughts popping into your head oh, that's a great idea, I didn't think of that, because that's how creativity begins, is when I'm in that place of creative flow, of which I have been. Actually, this is quite accurate. My channel is just kind of popping open, and it's everyone's different, but my thoughts start coming in very reflective poetry and riddles, and but even down to a painting. It all starts with an inspiration, and just this, inspiration to create whatever it is. It could be cooking, it could be drawing, it could be writing, it could be singing, it could be reading, it could be anything that just kind of gets you out of your head, I suppose. So I guess that's where the present time is that shaking out of your head into your body. And that can be difficult at first. What helps me is like tapping out. Like I'll listen to podcasts, I'll listen to audiobooks, getting a break from my story, because my mind really kind of wraps its claws into what I have going on, my story. Who's Savannah? What you doing next? Blah, blah, blah. And you can kind of spin out on that. And to move, it's kind of like the stepping back away from your story, then back into your body. So like that's the shifting. So right now things, I said creativity, but also like consuming, changing the environment. Watch a different kind of a movie, go on a walk, go to a different town, just go on a drive, whatever you can do to kind of break your habits, I guess, break your cycles. For me, that's why traveling is very beneficial. That's why, I get really a lot of inspiration, reflection from traveling. It kind of gives me an outer view on my life. It kind of forces me to step out of my life, step out of my story, take a break from my story. That's why a lot of times when I'm traveling, I'm not great at keeping up with online things and my business and getting back to emails and all that stuff, because I kind of just put it to the side and go back to like the core of me. And I just keep going back to this idea of let's forget about our stories for a while, because especially when we're in such a big place of transition, to make it easier going from one very strong state of being to another strong state of being, it takes some flexibility, malleability. The rigidity is going to create a lot of discomfort. So the more we can not try to think our way out of it, because like I said, we're moving from more of a thinking cerebral time to, more of just the impulses. So take a break from your story, take a break from your life, your habits, change it up. Try to not overthink whatever you have going on if it's very uncomfortable. Again, there's many options personally, podcasts and audiobooks, like I mentioned. I love them. There's one called The Moth. That's great. It's people telling different stories. There's one called Risk, which is a little bit more risky stories of all kinds. But I love storytelling because it gets me out of my story and puts me in somebody else's for a moment. Just reminds me of the variation of humanity, I know, I'm almost done, Poppy. Reminds me that, my story is not the only story. There's infinite simultaneous stories occurring at every moment, and we can feel like alone or isolated or nobody gets it. It's like, that's, not true at all. Just have to reconnect somehow with life again, which just comes back to reconnecting to yourself. So personally, I've been feeling like I was feeling pretty anxious-y. Like this is pretty accurate for at least what I've been feeling. There's a lot of that kind of anxious-y energy in my head and too much, and then it kind of just shifted, like something popped and broke this last week, like a handful of days ago, where it's like it's just not in my body anymore. It's like I feel very in the moment, very peaceful. My channel is popped open. It's just like I have so many songs swirling around inside me, coming all the time. So I'm about to be on a 13-hour flight followed by a 4-hour flight. So I'm going to be doing a lot of writing during that time, a lot of songwriting, trying to put all these things that are coming to me and organize them into songs. And I downloaded an app with all these that plays. You can like create different guitar chords, piano chords, whatever, so I can actually hear them and create the melodies all in my head on the plane. And I have a middle seat, gosh dang it. I really don't like the middle. I love the window, so I can lay on the window. I want to be between two people, but it's okay. Anyway, I'm going to pull an oracle card now. It's just going to be a little guidance on how to move through the current energies a little bit easier, better, more efficiently. Here, puppy, come here. Come here. Want to come say say hello? Okay, I'll feed you in 1 second. Okay. For the next 2 weeks, for the world. Ooh. I'm gonna pull one more. Okay. Ah! I love this. Regeneration. Regeneration and breathe. Oh, these are the perfect cards. It's funny because I go through phases, you know, whenever I'm pulling cards a lot, you start to notice that the same cards come up a lot, and it's like, gosh, is this deck rigged? It's like, no, that's the cool thing about pulling cards. You never pull the wrong one, and it just kind of follows your energy flows. So anyway, regeneration and breathe, which I think represent it very well. Meditating, obviously, is one of the best ways to just calm that mental space and get back into your body, which I would like to get back into, I guess, more just intentionally meditating daily. When I go down to the beach, it's like an active meditation, but transcendental meditation is what it's called, TD. There's many different types of meditation, and you can look them up. But that's very, very beneficial. Even just taking a moment to breathe, even if it's just, 20 seconds. There's circle breathing, where you kind of breathe in for 5, hold for 5, breathe out for 5. As I was holding my breath in, did you hear all the ducks down there? And regeneration. We are going through a time of regeneration, which is this Page of Wands upside down. Beep. It's like all the things we built are kind of like, blip. It's like, if you can see this tree, it's like it's burned down. The earth is burning, yet it's still got its little leaves. Everything's kind of just like burning to the ground so it can rebuild, but it's not as intense as like the Tower card, which is a little bit more like, throws everything out the window, time to rebuild. Although, here, I'll just read this for you. I'm just gonna read the general message, but again, this is Wisdom of the Oracle. I've linked it in the past, and feel free to message me if you ever want to know what decks specifically to follow along. I actually just got a pocket size one of these. This is not it, but it's so cute. It's small. You can have it on the go. Okay. Essential meanings are rebirth, second chances, new opportunities. The Oracle's message. Second chances are available to you now. Whatever the opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or loss is now being replaced by something better and more powerful growing in its place. Almost done. This rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in wondrous ways. It's so true. I was just talking to somebody yesterday about this, because they're worried, like, their job might be coming to an end, and what are they going to do? Their life's over, that kind of thing. And I always get excited for people in that position, because I told them that just means that there's something better coming your way or waiting for you to discover. There's opportunities and learning, growth opportunities and everything. And, the cliche of, one door closes, another opens. It's true though. And a lot of times we can't discover the thing that's nearer and dearer to our heart and lights us up more, lights our heart on fire. We can't discover that if we are inundated and our energy is already somewhere else. Sometimes the slate has to be wiped clean. The forest has to burn down for the new buds to come up. Okay, I'll just breathe really quick. Self-explanatory, but essential meanings: patience, waiting, going slowly, wellness, meditation, trust. The message: patience in all things is called for right now, Poppy. What do you need to do when you're in a rush? Slow down, of course, meditate and trust. Breathe and repeat. Humans cannot exist without drawing breath. Now is the time to allow the life-giving element of air to replenish your body, your being, and your very essence. Stop to smell the roses, breathe in the sunlight, and release the darkness, and miracles will appear. So many miracles. Okay, well, that is my message to you for the next 2 weeks. I'll put the date range that I'm speaking of, but, you know, whenever you're seeing this, that's the energy. I will say, like, you know, you can come across a video at a completely different time, but that's the right time for you. So whenever you are coming across this video is the right time for you. I will be back, and I'm going to continue doing this throughout the year for myself and for us and for everybody. Mostly for myself, just because I love getting back into this stuff, because it helps me get into kind of a clearer channeling space. And also interpreting what I have going on and the energies outside of me and inside of me helps me go through things easier. I need to understand a little bit more. I'm a Virgo, a little more cerebral, as they say. Okay, I need to finish packing now. Goodbye. Love you guys.